Hey guys, I'm out here pedaling with this old big turd truck, and I was waiting for the weather to kind of warm up just a little bit out here. It's still cold, but the reason I was going to make this video today, which I did not have any intentions of doing a video today, was because I was watching YouTube as usual. There's not too much on TV as far as I'm concerned, unless you like watching impeachments and bickering and all that other kind of stuff that doesn't interest me in the least. But so I watch YouTube mostly, and it's mostly cars and trucks. So I was watching an episode, and I really like this guy. His name's Uncle Tony's Garage. Real smart guy. A whole lot smarter than I'll ever be. But the episode that I liked, intrigued me the most, was the one I watched today, and I don't think it's been on YouTube too long. It's the one where his buddy buys a 74 Duster, and it's his buddy found it beside another person's garage beside of it, been sitting outside. The driver's side glass is been busted out, and so it's had a lot of, I think he said like 30 years of weather inside the car. So, but it was he was talking in the video, and I'm leading up to what I'm trying to say here to you. He said there's 3 hats you can put on, as far as 3 ways you can look at the car that he's talking about, the 74 Duster. You can look at it as, the car's not worth anything. That would be somebody that doesn't know too much about cars and trucks, and it's not worth anything. It's 30, 40 years old. And, just, it's already on the trailer, take it to the scrap yard. The other hat you can put on, which means the other way you can look at it, would be, is this a car or a truck? In this case, it's a Duster. Is it something that I can pedal with for maybe 2, 3, 4 weekends, or, something along those lines, and maybe get it up and running where I can drive it to the cruise in and stuff like that? Well, probably, I mean, unless you already had parts for it, probably not. So, because the motor's locked up, it's 318 locked up. So that kind of rules that out. Unless you already have a motor and stuff, probably not going to do that. The third way is, other hat you can put on, is part it out. So he was talking about how much he could get, say like for example, the bumper, the bumper filler, the grill, the wiper arms, the steering wheel in the Duster, stuff like that. And it was pretty interesting. The Duster had rally wheels on it, and it was pretty interesting to watch him. And he knows Mopars, and I think he's like me. I think he likes all of them, but he's kind of particular to Mopars, and that's okay. Everybody's got a preference. I do too. So I guess anyway. So if you decide you're going to part it out, how much can you get for it? If you give X amount of dollars for it, are you going to make your money back? And the answer is, yeah, he's going to make a ton of money off that car. But his buddy's not going to sell the car. But anyway, he said if it was his, he could part it out and make a bunch of money just over like 2 or 3 month span. Well, that's great. And, I'm not, whatever you want to do, but that gets back to the point I'm trying to make, which I'm long-winded. But let's say like this truck right here, like old Dookie. It was on the trailer getting ready to go to the scrap yard, and it didn't look like this. It didn't look like this, but didn't have the wheels and tires, didn't have the chrome bumper, and a seat wasn't redone, the dash wasn't redone, the steering wheel wasn't on it. It lacked a whole lot, and had a lot of, well, it still does have rust issues. So what is something like this worth parted out? It got me to thinking. And as you know, I've said this in a bunch of videos, I am not the brightest bulb in the room. So, okay, but if the other hood was on it that was bowed up, I just put this hood on last week, or a week or 2 ago, something. If I had that old bowed hood on it, the hood wouldn't be worth nothing. It might be worth something to somebody's, like Uncle Tony's garage said, maybe cutting a section out, but really not worth nothing. The grill is worth something. We'll just say for example, $100 for a grill like this. Headlight bezels, I've kind of cleaned them up where they look halfway decent. We'll say $50, say for both of them. A bumper like this with the bumper guards, we'll say, I don't know, we'll say $125. It had big old gaudy mirrors on it. I took them off and put these on from the junkyard. So mirrors wouldn't be worth a whole lot unless you like big old mirrors. The floor is all patched. Most of the gauges don't work. So I don't know. So there you go. Doors have rust. So you probably wouldn't want to get these doors. Fender's all dented up. So fender and door no good. The bed has issues. And when I got it, it didn't have a bed bottom in it either. Had that put in. So the bed, okay, just saying the way it sits right now, we'll say $300, maybe $400, maybe. Tailgate, maybe $100. If you're really wanting to sell it, it's got issues too, right here. So I'm looking at this and getting depressed. But well, maybe $200. I forgot about this. So I don't know. And I put them lights in it. It's supposed to have red ones. That's all I can come up with. There's not too much. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, and this truck didn't have a motor and transmission, so there was nothing I could sell off at. So I give too much for this truck. I really did. I give too much for it. And then, I've put wheels and tires and front end alignment and put this chrome bumper on it. Had the seat redone, dash cover, just miscellaneous things that I know y'all seen this in a bunch of videos, but my goodness, I really lost my rear end on this thing. Bad. Real bad. I mean, like I took it real hard. But, okay, and then there's this truck right here. It's 71. That had been in the woods. They had to cut trees down to get it out. Let's look at it for just a minute. Okay, I had to buy, I got these wheels and tires, as I've said before, from a friend of mine. I had to get new tires for it, so I don't know. What do you think they're worth? $1,200? $1,200? I'm just guessing ballpark. Knowing me, I got more than that in it. Time you buy lug nuts and all, it adds up quick. Okay, let's look at the truck before I done this, before I put the seat in, before I put the steering wheel in. Look at the videos from like last of June, 1st of July, and I first brought this home. Oh my goodness, that's where you need to start from. Got a new dash pad on it. I've not counting the painting I've done on this thing, which I know it's rattle can, but still, I mean, it adds up. Rattle can paints, like $5 a can. I used, I couldn't tell you how many cans, probably 15 cans to change colors on it. Okay, by the time I bought the truck and I bought the bumpers, and as I said before, the back bumper had that big old, heavy duty bumper on it. I got this sport bumper on it. I bought new tail light lens, reverse light lens, front parking light lens. And well, if you're going to add everything up, like I think I said, I give 15 for this mat, give or take. Front end alignment, exhaust work, all new front end suspension, new brakes all the way around, new brakes, disc brakes. Put the mirrors on it. If you add up everything, all this stuff. So the point is, if I'd have got this truck and parted it out, let's look at it that way for just a minute. Before all the fenders and the doors and everything else that Tim and BT and Corey done on this thing, just pretend like they hadn't done it, and it was still rusty, looking like crap. Whew. Okay, I couldn't have parted that fender out. No good. Door, no good. The bed, this Fleet side bed's got dents and stuff. You know, maybe I could get $300 or $400. I'm just guessing. The reason I say that is because there's holes all in the bed, you know, here, there, and everywhere. It had a bunch of trash piled up in it and set in the wood, so the trash didn't help it. The tailgate got a whole bunch of dents. I mean, unless you wanted to take a tailgate and make a bench or something like I see people do sometimes, maybe, okay, we'll say 100. We'll say 400 for this, 100 for that. Well, no, that'd be all together, wouldn't it? So let's just say 400. And once again, I'm getting depressed. This door, Tim had to rebuild the whole door. It was gone. This fender, I apologize, it's had some work done to it. Might could sell. The hood, I could sell. We'll say 100, and I'm going to go, okay, do you want to keep it or do you want to sell it? If you want to keep it, you could probably ask 150. If you want to sell it, 100. We'll say 100. It had a motor and transmission in it. 6-cylinder. What's a 6-cylinder worth? Maybe 200, maybe. And the transmission, well, you know, I had to get all new shifter for that, and that's probably like $250 for a truck shifter, battery and stuff, and I had to get that heater stuff from Wayland. So I guess after listening to Uncle Tony, I got pretty depressed. So, and what's it worth today in the condition it's in? I couldn't tell you. Really couldn't tell you. Or old Dookie here. What's old Dookie worth? I don't know. It's full of gas, so it's worth something. It's worth something. I don't know what old Dookie would be worth. I don't know what this 71 would be worth. Just kind of looking at it. I don't know. Anyway, my point is, I know my stuff's junk, and I'm the kind of guy that I just fool with junk, because when I have junk such as these, or maybe they, you know, used to be junk, well, you know, I can do a little bit at a time. That's the only way I can afford to do this hobby that I like, is just do a little bit at a time. So, that's just the way my budget allows. I'm not a rich guy, so I can do a little bit, you know, save up and get a little bit, save up and get a little bit. Like the wheels on this, for example, I already had them bought long before I ever run across this truck, but it was such a good deal. I was just I thought maybe some of these days, and if you'll remember a few videos back, maybe like last spring, I stuck them on this truck, but they didn't look too good, so put the rallies back on it. But I don't know, if you get to looking at it like that, you kind of get depressed. Now, what's this worth? It all depends on, I guess, who would want it. I don't know. I do. I like the truck. I like both of them real well. But this is the only way I can do anything, so I don't know what. I guess my point is, there might be 4 hats you can put on. The 4th one being me. I have to buy junk and just spend a little bit in order to get an end result that I'm happy with. So that's how I have to play the game. I'm not going to go out. I've never had one that's a vehicle that's already been built and ready to go. I never have had one. Had a 66 El Camino, no motor and transmission. I've had my last 62 Super Sport was a factory 4-speed, and it took 3 cars, 3 62s, to build that one because it's in such rough shape. But when it was done, I primered it all black. It is a pretty nice car, run really good too. But it took a lot of hours and a lot of saving and a lot of staying home at this house and not going nowhere. So I don't know. I don't know if I've really made a point to you or not, but I guess what I'm saying is there might be a fourth hat that you can put on. If you're like me and you're on a limited budget and you can just do so much and you want to save and scrimp and do without and stuff like that in order to, have something like this. And I know a lot of y'all's got to be laughing thinking, I stayed home for this. Well, yeah, I stayed home for this. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't go on vacations. I stayed home for this because I've just always liked stuff like this. And that's another thing. Do you like doing this stuff? I do. I like pedaling. I'm fixing to fool with some door rubber now that I got at the junkyard. I'm hoping it'll work. I don't know. Might make a video about that. Anyway, didn't mean to be so long-winded. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing today and my thoughts and running around in my head. And I thought if I don't say it, I'm probably going to forget it. Anyway, this is where I'm at. If you're in the same shape I'm in, where you just do little bit, why send me some pictures of your cars or trucks, and kind of encourage me to keep it going. Because sometimes, if you can get depressed if you're not really, really careful and think you're not going nowhere. You're just spending money and can't see no results. But anyway, I appreciate you watching the video. I'm doing good. Peeling this paint off this hood. It's going to blow off on the windshield anyway. Anyway, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know you watched the video. Subscribe. That would mean a whole lot to me, a whole bunch. And be sure to check out Uncle Tony's Garage area. I like that video he put out. That was a good one. It kind of opened my eyes and a little bit, But I'm not going to change. I am what I am. So I just fool with junk and try to buy used parts to make things work and make it look like it's still got a little bit of life left in it. In the used parts, I'd rather have used anytime as new. So that's just me. But anyway, I hope you found this informative. And I didn't mean to talk your ear off. Your ears are probably bleeding by now. So I hope y'all's having a great day. I'm on Instagram, Primer is Best. All one word. Facebook, Primer is Best. Please share this video if you found it informative. And you can check out Uncle Tony's Garage. He's a really, really knowledgeable guy. I like watching his videos. And appreciate you watching mine. And I hope y'all's having a great day. I am. It's a pretty day, but it is cold. But I got to do what I got to do. Y'all have a good one. See you later.